A New York State Supreme Court justice, in just the last hour or so, tossed out some of the evidence against Luigi Mangione. He's the man accused of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder. The judge ruled this morning that Mangione's backpack was not in his immediate control or grabbable for him as well when it was searched by Altoona, Pennsylvania police officers at the time of his arrest. And that's the key. It's got to be within his grasp. But statements he made to corrections officers are fair game. This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, here with my co-host Emily Compagno. Also joining us today, Kaylee McGee-White, Fox News contributor, Molly Hemingway, Fox News contributor, and Brian Kilmeade, Fox and Friends co-host, host of the Brian Kilmeade radio show and One Nation with Kilmeade. Well, the ruling that I just told you about means everything the police in Altoona discovered inside that McDonald's where they found Mangione cannot be brought into evidence. And on the list, the magazine, the weapons, obviously, I should say the ammunition, cell phone, passport, wallet, and computer chip. However, the gun, the weapon, and the notebook police discovered when they did a more thorough search back at the police station will be allowed as evidence. One of Luigi Mangione's attorneys seemed unsurprised by the ruling.
Any reaction?
It's good. It's good.
It's not. It's good.
I have no idea what's going on. It's what we expected, and it's good.
Emily, it's what they expected.
Yeah, and she said it's good. I do think actually that this is a win for the prosecution. But I'll say this, that the legal process, the legal analysis behind deeming that the backpack was too far away to be grabbed, I see that, but I think there's a lot of leeway for whether that decision was in fact correct. And we are all sitting in the same city where there were attempted bombings of a lot of high-profile officials here, including the mayor. So to me, an arm's reach does not necessarily mean that there is something in the backpack. Oh. Exactly. That, in my opinion, there could be something incendiary in it.
Right.
So for me, the nexus is not necessarily whether it's arm length, but whether it was in the defendant's control prior to that. So for me, the safety of the police officers in the McDonald's was absolutely paramount on ensuring whether anything in the backpack was incendiary, had a time control, right, and the like. Even a weapon can discharge upon being jostled. I mean, what if it was sort of leaning against a thing and dropped? And look, I know that might seem like I'm fishing, but I think in this day and age, frankly, we are well beyond the black and white analysis that we've seen in legal procedure coming up to this, where case law says it has to be this. This would have been, in my opinion, the case law to say, we are unsure what's in the backpack. We know it was in the defendant's control. We know what he's alleged of and what could be alleged more. And let's talk about Columbine, for example. That was a school shooting. It was also a failed school bombing. So just because someone has been a shooter or has been accused of using a gun to shoot someone doesn't mean that they also don't have an incendiary device or something else, a chemical weapon or something else that in this day and age could be vastly fatal.
They also have the fiduciary responsibility to protect everybody inside that McDonald's. So you're going to want to search this guy no matter what because you don't know what he might have in the backpack. That is such an excellent point.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Brian.
I don't understand how you can separate a magazine and a gun. I mean, the thing is, if you go to the backpack, well, why wouldn't you check the backpack? Just basic police work. Backpack, there's backpack bombs. There's a name for it for a reason. And I just can't believe the guy writes a manifesto. He basically confessed to the entire crime. He talked to the cops, and all they're trying to do on the defense is delay a game. There's no doubt that this guy did it. He actually writes his intent in his manifesto. He feels like a hero. He acts like he's a hero. He's being treated like he's a hero. I don't know what's going on in prison, but it doesn't look too bad for him. So to me, it happened 2 blocks from here. We get him on video shooting. They find a guy that fits his description. In this backpack is all the information you need. This should have been done already.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say because you listed all the things that they allowed in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the manifesto, the gun, all the things. So that's quite a bit of evidence.
And then you have the federal trial after.
Hence why Emily said, well, I consider this a win for the prosecution because I would think so too. Kaylee.
I don't share Emily's optimism necessarily, but it's because I think that this state trial in particular, which is separate from the federal trial, is running into the exact same problem that many of the cases down in D.C., where the Trump administration has been bringing entirely lawful cases cases up against biased judges and biased juries, and they're running into the exact same problem. And I think that it's particularly concerning when you consider that there are a whole slew of people out there who have already exonerated Luigi Mangione in the court of public opinion. You saw protesters out in front of the Manhattan courthouse today who were arguing to free Mangione, and this is particularly true among my generation, Gen Z, and how they apparently support his use of political violence or his alleged use of that. So I think that that's why prosecutors and law enforcement have to be so extremely meticulous in cases like these, because can you imagine the damage to our culture and society if he ends up being exonerated of even one of the charges being brought against him? To Brian's point, he already thinks of himself as a hero, and essentially you'd be giving a legal rubber stamp to that narrative if he does get off.
Well, and it gives the mob, which I consider them to be a mob if they want to press against something that is justice playing out. It gives them a bigger voice. They had on the T-shirts that say, you know, something about no double jeopardy because he said that at the end of the first time he was in court. And, you know, they're sort of echoing this fandom around him.
That's what I think is actually the bigger problem. Making sure that the evidence is gathered appropriately, that's a good thing, even if it's kind of ridiculous what the standards the state is using in this case. But this culture around Luigi Mangione and left-wing violence in general is a major issue. I mean, he has top attorneys defending him. You have major entities on the left really backing this type of political violence. They do this double thing where they support the people who are committing the violence, but also claim that they don't believe the violence is existing. You know, there are all these assassination attempts against Trump, the successful assassination of Charlie Kirk. And just in general, the left has seemingly embraced this type of action to resolve political disputes that they're not winning on the merits of their arguments. That is such a bigger issue than even this horrific story of how Brian Thompson was killed.
Yeah, it's so interesting because the T-shirts, no double jeopardy. I mean, it's the state and federal. They're just echoing him. They're not even really thinking this through. Of course, the state and federal trials would be different.
And Yeah, it's just interesting that the feds are allowing this evidence that was obtained in the backpack in that trial at this point.
No one had a problem when Dylan Roof was prosecuted at both the federal and the state level. Like, it makes me sick that because of someone's alleged appearance, that is somehow absolves him of the accountability or the defendant, you know, the normalcy of defendants that go through this country. And I'll make one more point about the backpack to McDonald's. We know the amount of officers and canine officers that have died simply from sniffing or touching fentanyl. And I would have also used statements in that moment like, if I go through this backpack, am I going to find something that's dangerous to me? Is there going to be something sharp? Is there going to be something that I'm going to inhale that's going to hurt me? And then you can use those potentially false statements later. Yes. Like, there's so much more that you can use in that moment.
You mean they should have said it? You mean those cops should have said that?
I'm just saying it's an opportunity for such, so that, you know, clearly I'm a little biased from this position.
And they did say they were looking for bombs when they went. They did say that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much more volume that you can use then in the factual analysis later for this judge to then say, oh, no, it's not.
What about the rationalization of the behavior? Okay to assassinate somebody. Yeah, if you listen to Hassan Piker, the number one pundit on the left, who appears with Ro Khanna, who goes on his radio show, he's got millions of followers. He says, yeah, you should be shoplifting, and healthcare companies should be fair game because so many people have died waiting for proper health care in that person.
Well, and remember, he called this social murder.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
We were going to say it at the same time. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.